to kill. Again, the subject of the message I bring to you is shoot to kill, and I am sending this message, this command to Ambazonia Restoration Forces all over the territory. Today is Saturday, November the 2nd. I am Chris. I know you are comrade in arms for a free and independent Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. I have seen press statements circulating all over our territory, our country, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, issued by CPDM subsection presidents, leaders, subsection leaders of the CPDM, the press statements circulating, calling for people to show up or turn out on November 6th to celebrate the ascension to power of one Mr. Paul Biya. Now, all of us in Ambazonia know that Paul Biya is the president of a foreign country, La République du Cameroon, and some so-called elite cronies of the regime in Yaoundé have the infantry to come to our territory to want to desecrate our land by celebrating somebody who has the blood of our people in his hands, whose hands are stained by thousands of our people's blood. We say absolutely zero celebration of anything La République du Cameroon, talk less of Paul Biya, in our territory. I am by this message asking every Ambazonian fighter, wherever you may be, from the BLM to the Mongol and to Nkambe, wherever CPDM plan the celebration of Paul Biya's November 6th ascension to power, we ask you, you find them, you shoot them to kill. We no longer celebrate anything. We ban their 11th February. We ban their 20th May. How much more of the so-called the ascension to power of Paul Biya celebrated in which country? In Ambazonia? Let them celebrate it anywhere in La République du Cameroon. But in Ambazonia, we don't want that mockery. And so the restoration fighters should make sure they see any gathering of the CPDM anywhere in Ambazonia between November the 5th and the 6th. Again, Ambazonia restoration fighters are giving these orders to shoot to kill anybody gathering in the name of Paul Biya and in the name of the CPDM. The people responsible for the planning of this event, we should mark them and know that they are our enemies number one. And everything that can be done should be done to neutralize them. Again, this message is coming from Chris, I know. And I am really mad to hear that at this moment, after 8 years of war, and Paul Biya has failed to listen to people you call his citizens. He sends people around to go celebrating his ascension to power. What are they actually celebrating? Well, I hope that they celebrate with blood this time. Ambazonia Restoration Forces, you heard me right. You heard my voice. You have the powers to eliminate anybody celebrating Paul Biya and the CPDM in Ambazonia coming November 6th as I hear. Thank you. And please spread the word.
Ladies and gentlemen and fellow Ambazonians, I come to you all today in peace. Today is Sunday. This is my Sunday morning. I'm here to react to a couple of audios I listened from Dr. Sako. That has to do with our liberation. And I think there are quite a couple of things that I would like to straighten to what he sent out there to the Ambazonia people, or maybe to his government or to what he calls it. And I would like to handle one or two situations, and I will plead that the audio may be a little bit long. The idea of always calling others co-plotters left with this, a co-plotter did with this. And then the idea of our constitution, the importance of a constitution in a movement, paying attention to manipulators. They are always very fluent in selling their stories. But then we should always know that there are always two sides to a story, really three. And Saku has always made it in a way that he runs out, they sells his story, and they will be reacting to his story. He sells his story, what he is trying to explain to his people, or let's say to Ambazonians. So was the case with ABC, and his case with the people he's calling the coup plotters. And what is very particular here is, I would think that if Saku were thinking that there were some people that plotted a coup, according to him, it was supposed to be the Restoration Council and not Christopher Anu as they sing every day. It's Anu, 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 Anu. Even when Marianta was president, the whole thing was Anu. The Restoration Council simply followed the assignment and the framework of our constitution gave them to do. But Dr. Saku did not like it. He should be made to understand the Restoration Council and that's the legislative branch of our liberation and the executive branch. The legislative branch lords it over the executive branch. It is not the other way around. But if you go to our constitution, it spells out that the Restoration Council, the overseer of our liberation. Modalities to that constitution is given to the Restoration Council. The creation of any new body is given to the Restoration Council and not to the executive branch, as in any other modern democracy. So let me start here, ladies and gentlemen, by what he calls coup plotter left us. They left us, mean that we were at the same place. The coup plotter left, and then they were left in that place. But it is the other way around. It does not give him that they were coup plotters. They stayed in their house. It was him that left and one created his own institutions. Meanwhile, the foundation of the family remained in the house. Let me give you this simple common sense scenario here. Let me refer to the Bible. Two instances in the Bible. When the prodigal son left the family, when he asked the father to give his own portion of the property, when it was given, he left. Was it the family that left him, or he was the one that left the family? Because the family remained in the family foundation, the family house. But the prodigal son stepped out. When wonder, they trying to come back to the house. But that was the foundation of the family. So the person will say that left the place is supposed to be the prodigal son and not the family. Another scenario, the Bible states that man, he will leave his family and a woman will leave his family. That's what they say, he leave because you are going out of a body. You leave, you go create, you go meet up man when I create one own family, when I become one, when I create one own family. From there, you'll be creating another family from there. And that family would have stemmed from the main family where you were, where you left. In these scenarios, ladies and gentlemen, is it right for Sako to say that the coup plotters left. Because the coup plotters still follow our constitution that was given to this government till date. They remain in the house. Mr. Sarko left, created his own government, and the land they've created their own constitution. The APP plan that we're using, he wanna created his. The foundation, as he explained that we're using, he created his. Because he said the coup plotter left with. How will somebody be living with something when he has everything that was in place? Is it the person when I created his own left the house when they created his own that is saying that left, or it is the family that will remain behind to continue to be a family? So this is the manipulation here, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, Sarko has always developed that attitude of painting you black. That's why they're lacking this thing all the time to coup plotter. What coup plotters is. The problem again here is that Sarko left, but he is blaming those who stayed in the house. For instance, in the Restoration Council, there were 32 members in the Restoration Council. 6 sided with Sarko and they left the house. They left the Restoration Council with 26. Who left? Was it the 26 that left? Or the 6 that left and followed Sarko to where he was going to? Of course, common sense would tell us that the 6 left the 26 to follow Sarko to where he went. That's where they went and created their own thing they call House of Joy here, they call it now Parliament. See, this is the manipulation here. He's wanting you to understand these people left. Meanwhile, he is the person that left. He was impeached as per our constitution. Or can somebody ask Sarko to tell me he led the impeachment of Ayuk? Can they tell us what Ayuk did that he, the Sarko, hasn't done? Why then did he lead the impeachment of Ayuk? And yet he has done worse than Ayuk. And he thinks that he cannot be impeached. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonia, the Restoration Council remains intact, full, and strong. They don't look into the face of somebody before they do what the Ambazonian people ask them to do. They simply followed what they were asked to do. So if the president does this and this and this should happen. The next point I want to address here is having established the fact that Sarko is manipulating Ambazonia by saying that they left with our this. Meanwhile, he was the one that left the house. Those structure was still in place. The APP forum that we're using it that we still use it today. The treasury that he took us to court is the one we still use it today. Even we have changed something there, it's just for the sake of running this, but it will remain. Why is it that we took it away? As he says, he took it away. We didn't. It remained in place. Then he left. He was simply blocked from going to that place. He did not have the mandate to continue to go to that treasury. He went and created his, but now he said that we left. That is how manipulation works. But he failed to know that there's always another side to a story. As in the case of ABC, when this happened, when he left, he confiscated ABC and slandered any other person. It is his modus operandi with Sarko is that if you dare disagree with him, automatically there are 2 coup plotters. I did not see coup plotters in their cabinet that Ocheba and they on the rest are still calling as coup plotters. I heard the audio from Dr. Elat 1 or 2 times. I've heard from others say, okay, they were said to be coup plotters. When therefore mean that if you question Sarko, you are a coup plotter. You are taking away his powers. And that's why he says dictatorship. But in all, ladies and gentlemen, in a community, be it a village meeting, when you establish rules that will make you function normally, any person who will come out there and respect those rules, that community is supposed to face some chaotic conditions. As Mr. Comrade already outlined, I don't want to go there. What Ayuk did, Sarko did, Marianta did until the sea coming. When you have the fundamental laws of the land and somebody refuses to respect it and decide to create or choose, it becomes a very, very fundamental problem. For instance, Sako talked of the other audio were talking about majority, when majority votes on President Sako, former President Sako. When the Recreation Council voted, gave you the opportunity, as Comrade Chris already said, nobody was challenging this gentleman. Simply go out there and renew your mandate to the Ambazonia people as it was given with the other office you took. Then they say, no, it was not in the Constitution. Was that the only thing that was not in the Constitution that the Restoration Council did to give him powers? Of course, they legislated on that before giving him the powers. And he talks about bill originate. Bill can also originate from individuals. Or a bill can originate from the House. An example would be the bill that gave him 2 years mandate, and another one that gave him 2-year mandate, another one that after 2-year election will be conducted. And the lady she called the chair lady of her house, went out there and explained to Ambazonia that there were 2 bills that were passed in the House. One giving of letting from acting president to president, and one giving him 2 years mandate. He never complained at the time. Of course, he said when he was asked, because they benefited him. So he had no reason to fix it, because he said he noticed it. But I said, why didn't you fix it? I didn't fix it because they benefit me. They were in my favor. So now it is second. Can you connect the dots? Dictatorship. Anybody who questions is a coup plotter. And in fact, that it benefited me. So all these things circles around Sako. Ladies and gentlemen, when you plant cocoa or yams, you will never harvest cassava. You will harvest those cassava. What Sako has planted in this struggle, he will harvest it. Look at his government. That has forced him to come and making audios upon audios. Who are the Titas? Who are the Almighty Erengwa? Who are the need Jews? Who are the doctors IMM? Who are the doctors Ella that they are calling them now the coup plotters? When Ano complained, Isako thinks that he has a government and can listen according to the rule that was stipulated and given to him to defend. Will he place his hand on the Bible to swear that he was going to govern according to those the constitution that was given to him? And he was the one that promulgated that constitution into law. But when you get and refuse to respect the same constitution, as I already said, it is clearly stated that any change in that constitution comes from the Restoration Council. The Restoration Council is the overseer. They make laws and give to the president to execute. And they have all reason to punish the government for not executing the laws as they are supposed to be, which is all through impeachment. Either you impeach the president, or you are impeaching a secretary of state, or you are paying for non-respect of what you are asked to do. So the Restoration Council is given the power as the overseer. The creation of any new institution is in the hands of the Restoration Council. But did he not live and created all that he's calling out there? Did that constitution give him any legality to create those things? Of course not. This is how dictators work. They choose. And they'll pick a little excuse and hang on it that it was not this. For the fact that they say he was not going for election, given the opportunity to go for election and called to the house in many occasions to come and defend his action, he refused to appear before the Restoration Council. And that's contempt of the council. And there are consequences for that. The House of the People calls you for interview, for questioning. You refuse to appear. It's contempt of Congress. And of course, he did it as president. Maybe that's the aspect of dictatorship he's talking about here. Then how do they rule? From space? If you cannot follow a constitution you promulgated into law, And when he talks about majority, as already said here, did he respect the majority? He never did. As I say, 6 as against 26. He decided to side with 6 and abandon 26. As the respect of that, the majority vote is supposed to be respected according to him. But did he? So it becomes ridiculous, as I say. Manipulators know how to sell their story. Coup plotted, constitution. As I already outlined, all of these that were meant to give an acting president to 2-year president to go for election, as I said, there were no election in the constitution. But the Restoration Council were given the power to moderate on all of this, or legislate and modify all of this. But did he respect that? Well, maybe the element of dictatorship, as we say. You cannot play dictatorship. And what is troubling us is the fact that we don't have the means to enforce it. Sako would have been behind bars long time. If we really had a functioning government, he would have been behind bars long time ago. But what he has done is treason. What Marianta did is treason. And he's changing our constitution. The constitution that he was supposed to have been working with was the one that he promulgated to law. The creation of all this that he has created, the constitution did not give him the powers to do it. But my final question, can he tell us why he impeached Ayuk? I think that he cannot be impeached. Why did Ayuk do that he hasn't done? So, fellow Ambazonians, manipulators, somebody like Uncle B here will be proud to be a coup plotter and not to be a dictator. God bless us.
So now, when the key fighter, village is happy. You know why? Because the guys they do not rough work now. Rough work, yeah. Now, for example, with the black rap, the killing, the village where come out they happy. Now they are telling us not sympathize. They say that because they I don't know which kind of job the other guys they do. Somebody, when I don't, she don't do ask say, since when transporter die, everywhere cold. Yeah, just do say the key mommy bell, then picking the scatter, or a key mommy foul, mommy picking the scatter. They don't know where to go. Yeah, if you look the last video, transporter maker, where after I talk, then the assistants talk. Where after that few days, then they kill it for that highway. Where Kunda titles are going to bring another video, so that guy will talk the second. Now it will be die because transporter they fall into. But a different guy where they fall in a transporter. Because that another perspective after transporter talk, then they took a talk with their life. And I talk with direct and meet up for village. I tell you, say, what did they saw? They say, no, God, you know, they work in a farm now, presently. They hide now, but you know, if they come from village. Yeah, because then the assistants will need to take over transporter. The captain. If you look the video where Bitakola they be making, when they talk about unity, so the other 20 million and wait till they be match. Then the first guy be try for where they be make how to arrange gun. The first guy be first finish. Then after that they be make speech. He talk say America and France they be try for join before now they succeed for defeat Germany. After many days, now the guy, oh my guy. Now he be never take over transporter. He deny. He talk say no. Why military come? He only kill not only the top men them. So you know that he dey presently in Nigeria. That's what they tell them. Now why that black rap will come as a junior? Because they be deny them because they do rough work since from the beginning. Why not take up a general? So, where do I try for talk for you, where people they were listen? Because another video they become out at people they accuse freestyle card na ego key bitter cola na story they have for on social media. People they come up for a zone like us who know what will happen before bitter cola fall. Yeah, but that is that. And what will make our black apple fall recently? Because a rough work they do. There are two things that make a fall. Two things very dangerous. Two before you fall. And now when you look now for the place now for the fight, when you look now how the fight go, okay? Now two things make a fight at the fall now recently. Either ex-Amber bring military can kill you, or village people where you don't do their rough work, they come can kill you. But the two things are that. If you been as a military, you can't find you know the work so again. Now military they don't assume. So waiting that the citizens now they say now or the villagers they say they see military as less evil than on the fighters. And why that they only come like 1 year now, you know you're not gone. 1 year say they will kill the fight on the side. No exchange. Because if the guys that don't keep their gun, then they relax. The military just come with that ex-Ambazonian, they just wipe you, then they go back place quiet. So if una dey think for una head say Cameroon government will go in dialogue with anybody and say una waste your time, because now Cameroon government understand say wetin na just a little hand of resistance. So and e dey happen every country get that kind of people dem. So they just dey steady place for one time, you just hear gun. So, totally southern zone you no dey hear any gun. Akomona dey direct, no be say you no dey hear gun. Because of wetin the guys dem they don't slow down, they go shit on them. Now they can't juka they dey juka for bar, they dey juka for club, and they tell una so they dey juka can't sleep for house normal, they keep their guns in the bush. That is what is happening. So they just come now, military now the only time they say they bring the ex-Ambazonian or the black legs them, they wipe them, story end. You know, yes, you know the years they can't keep some general society, yes, you know, it be exchange, military, so face any different. No, you know this way again. You don't only say this general for this side, this one for this side, because say nothing that way they. The men don't keep going, they can't joke. Why military does use that advantage for them? So if you think say we recruit any new member for join the fight, it will not work. It will not work. And if things say Cameroon government go come for dialogue, it will not work also for now. It will not work. And they talk this one. Anybody they only insist na say no Cameroon government will come protect we go because they never go for ground wetin dey happen. Wetin go for ground, comot for side wey dey go for ground, go win inside yourself and say everything it be normal for now. Now that few resistance now, and the resistance say you know the exchange you go, military they only succeed, and everywhere they do now for southern zone or not for southern zone they do now wetin remilitarization. Everywhere you work of any stop, now military dey. Before I enter Boya, only control dey attire. I can say wetin these guys they do here. That's what they now. You wan reach Okumba, control dey for that road you go tire. Go down, go down, go down, go down. So that is it. If any information for the consensus audience on there, I'll come up. I know they always talk. Mama G, they ever vex say you get information then. You as person get more information, you know they can't talk you. Because say I know they would like to talk because una never change on our ways. And I'll tell her always, una change on our ways. I know come on social media, they will leave group how many months you come back and you come into the same attitude. They want to attack this one, they attack this one, attack. We are not going anywhere with that noise. I don't want to change on our way the better for now. We try to recruit on ourselves the back. We must start back for Genesis. That is normal. When I visit don't go far, there is no far. You people are at the same spot. And fighters and nobody not join. So wait till I will help, maybe not diplomatic if you help. They say some picking can join fight, no way. They don't go they back, they work on their farms. So when they work their okadas. Yes, have a good day.
House as alone now. I just want to reply for this my sister. We just make a audio say Southwest they fine. Say Southwest the fighting not only for Bamenda. Well, I don't think say analyze them well because for me talk say Fako they fine. Now Fako we fight no mostly they Fako. But if you go for Meme, fight day for Kumbasai or a Kondo Titi side them. Fight day. Fight day for Meme, fight day for even for Manusai. Fight day for other region them. Lebia them fight no be day. Now only Fako because Fako no get that forest where the guys if he hide for day now why they be so risky. Then for other division they fight the day. So I not think say he just figure conclude and say fight no day for southwest then only for northwest. No, make it talk say fight no day for Fako division. Aha, that's why I figure correct too. So now only Fako no too mostly day for that fight because the forest no day with the guys if you really go hide for day. And I think be that. Thank you.
Good afternoon, house. All wanna be very correct, but this analysis, I don't think say at the time this for this analysis, this analysis that they only bring na divide and rule spirit. This analysis that the only one bring na infighting and tribalism. So any man who is listening to this kind of analysis or even take this kind of analysis, put them for your brain, no be a fighter. Because as for a fighter, we swear, you be the swear for fight and for defend homeland. You be the fight for look for another man. They say fight as if the whole fight or the whole show depends on you alone. I don't know if fight at the other group they fit understand what I try to talk. They say fight as if the whole fight depends on you alone. Let's say the fight you want, you need. I mean, in order for the fight, they look some man. Might even leave the ground zero with the people that lose their life. Plenty of these people that they bring this kind of analysis of divide and rule and infighting and tribalism. Now people way they're not even there for ground zero. What you should do for your comfortable zone, comfortably, you will give this kind of analysis now for bring low spirit for ground. I want to ask this sister say now for which form he the fight. For your own sector we're supposed to fight, maybe not financially or morally or in any form, how perfect is there for your own area of fighting this fight? How perfect is there for your own area? For analyze different area where if you fight for the area. Me analyze your own area where it there for fight, even financially, it fight the fight. Me ask yourself say how much it contribute for this fight. If not morally, me ask yourself say how much good ideas they contribute for this fight. I made a stop for people to bring divide and rule fighting and tribalism inside people they are missed. Because this thing, only this thing we're talking so now a lot of tribalism and we if it instead bring down the fight instead of promote the fight. So at the back this house, any man I never talk to me some man is salty or do anything but now a very bad analysis. And I don't believe say me some man take this kind of analysis and then try to keep them because it no help in any way. Any man where if you fight, may fight bring the independence. This kind of action shows say tomorrow you will hear say these people this need to fight or this man need to fight or this man need to fight. Now a very bad analysis. I just say might just contribute that little for this house. Say me no man not keep this kind of analysis or even forward this kind of analysis to groups because it be very deadly. Thank you, house.
Yeah, on a good morning for the house. Where sister, would hear all your talk, but the problem where it didn't say sister, you supposed to use small wisdom for talk for insight. You know say this struggle, Fako na end of town. So you know if you really they compare Fako with other places. Wait till that brother talk, na real true and facts. Yes, because he talk, he give facts. But na say when we the one can talk so sister, I beg we go try for add small wisdom for them. We not just dey talk openly so. So wait the way you dey talk, well, you correct, but I say I beg try for use wisdom for them because they be say may anybody if fight for any level way fit. If na idea for promote for say you fit dey fight with money, you fight with gun, you fight with sensitize people about the struggle or you pray e dey fine but the talk wey you dey try for talk so abeg next time abeg you use wisdom na my own way that way I see am o no be say you talk bad me I see say na for put some small wisdom there.
Ambazonians, black leg they don't crease. Black legs enablers of genocide, enablers of French-sponsored Cameroon genocide inside southern Cameroons, they don't crease. Team Surrender, they don't crease. Radio Sokamif don't crease. The leader of all black legs for inside Radio Sokamif, the leader of Team Surrender, the leader of River Birds, he don't come out, he cry. They cry, they attack mechanic. They cry, they attack mechanic. So they call, he say this, so he be picking for Katakis, for Dimini, for Walters, the flashlight security guard for Sokamif, the U.S. Marine special technician, we never ever hold gun, we the fear for show himself inside a U.S. service uniform, the biggest black leg for inside diaspora, for inside Sokamif. He don't show his head. He cry again. He cry. Say Mama G be right. Say man no shoot gun. Say if man no shoot gun, then all things will return back to normalcy. Ambazonians. If I say more understand. Say now the thing this way, element them. Will a republic release them from Konengi prison. And demon them. Where they don't pretend from day one for ages inside this independence war. They don't pretend to they be Ambazonians them. Their frustration don't climb reach for their head. So they tell Ambazonian and say, if Ambazonian they no shoot gun, then La Republic no go shoot gun. Or say La Republic no go kill Ambazonian them if like Ambazonian they no shoot gun. Now anyway from Waters don't come out and talk say not true. Not true. Because the Ambazonian them they only come out go do control. Now time when they want money for go be house or they want money for go do this. Now this same from Waters. Maybe they ask for program for Independence Day. Program for Independence Day, come on, he see him, he run. He give heart attack, he go hide. They see gun them, oh brother, oh sister, the organization, don't stand. They put their foot for ground. Say no matter what your brother and sister for diaspora they do, we they here for defend Ambazonia. We they here for restore the independence of Ambazonia. We dey here for all our interests. We dey here for our selfish interests. Our selfish interests na Ambazonia. We get for restore what to be our own. We get for take back our own, our right, our God-given right. From what I don't see other boy then stand for ground. How brother and sister and stand for ground, they stand straight. The man fear. He come now, the Dangu Mamaji, the black demon. They know this black demon. Where we go record a former late General Ivan by picking them. Can't show them for Ambazonia and them. For demean and for insult Ambazonia and them. For mislead, for misdirect the independence war. Ambazonia and they no be pick up weapon then now for fight for struggles inside Cameroon. Ambazonia and they be pick up weapon then now for restore their independence and sovereignty. Ambazonian they no be pick up weapon and for some man it struggles. Every genuine Ambazonian be pick up gun for restore individual independence, right. Where every Ambazonian get them. The right for independence and sovereignty. Now the reason that our brother or sister then pick up gun there for ground. So if some people then like from Waters, they be send money. Whether they be send money now for do SEO, whether they be send money now say me then go struggle now for which struggle. That their struggle go end for water. May for waters no chase say so he go carry the demon, Mama G, he can use them for confuse Ambazonian them. No, would they focus? Whether Ambazonian then shoot gun or they no shoot gun, La Republique dey for Ambazonia, they commit genocide. For that reason, Ambazonian they go shoot gun when they decide to shoot gun. If I say me enter una head them clear or una black leg them. Una don't successfully kill Ambazonian them under the canopy of APSC for Atlantic States with the help of Fritz Takang, where they inside una Sokami black leg enablers and demon forum. Una dey there una dey congratulate Mama G. Why una dey congratulate Fritz Takang? He say he go cash Abobala if Abobala step in foot for Kumba. Una no fit cough. But una can't talk say me Ambazonian they no shoot gun. So there's some other one way na flashlight go record the talk say they so they contribute money for go buy bullet. That means say that one. No. Ambazonian and for diaspora and for all places where they don't contribute and they use the word contribute because everybody is right for contribute for their independence war, for support their brother and their sister and for ground, for contribute. You know the sponsors or man for go do something. You help that man for help yourself. So as you help the man, you help yourself. Now the reason that we will contribute and we will continue to contribute. So when we contribute, now our brother and our sister in the ground, so they do the food work. We too do our own food work for diaspora by contributing, by generating that income where the Republic never be able to generate them inside 6 decades. We generate them for send them for them for contribute, made a defend all we were interest. So, Mr. Fon Waters, down our black legism don't fail. When I want unite for fight another day, no. We go continue for fight now. We need to stop. We go continue for fight. We go fight until we go reach boy. And we go continue for the cry. We go continue for the cry for Sokamif. Say, hey, we know you. We want you now who? Now we don't can talk say this so unity no go work. Say may all man drop. May all man stop for shoot gun. May la Republic sorry. May 10 generations for today. May we not picking them way. Maybe una pikin and can't get the balls where una no be get them today. Now the person this way the worker talk say he be specialist. He there for US service. Now the black leg then this, the Anglophiles then where they hide around diaspora. People they don't live for America for decades. They no ever change. The village no ever come up from them. They still there inside village. The worker make noise left and right. Say people they can't learn from Sokami. They learn what you feel learn from place where nothing never come up with it. Nothing never come up with it for how many years? Since 2017, nothing never come up with it. You can't say people they learn from it. They learn what They learn what When I don't jump for all kind train, come out back, jump for all kind one, come back. When I sing, say, hey, me man no fire gun. Say the one that ready the fire gun, they go come out do na control. When popcorn carry like Republic, boom, when I go hide. When special forces them for Amber, they do tactical, surgical operation, pop, they knock 3 them down. When I go hide. When I can say, me man no shoot gun, The Mama G where they talk, he fight now for which group? He fight for which group for can't talk, say me some man no shoot gun. Now black legs enablers, frustration don't chop them, so they know nothing for do. Instead of the fight like Republic, they don't turn the fight now Ambazonia and then so they threaten Ambazonia and say if they no unite, then they may them surrender. That means say una don't already surrender, una the beg me all man can surrender, una. No, una remain for the united in surrender. Weaver birds, black legs, enablers. I'm sorry, una. Ambazonia need to stop for una. We go fight la Republic. Una go continue for the make noise. But we'll continue to fight. We will stay the course. Now the independence and sovereignty, the unconditional independence and sovereignty of Ambazonia. or resistance forever.
Shoot to kill. Again, the subject of. Few days ago, I listened to an audio message from my friend, Comrade Sako Ekome. Comrade Sako Ekome put out a message and he was addressing, I guess, members of his government. That message had nothing to do with me, He was not addressing it to me. But after listening to it, I thought for the good of the liberation struggle for Ambazonia, it will be good that I come out to give some interpretation that can help this revolution or liberation struggle. Today is November the 1st, Friday, November the 1st. I am Chris Anu, your comrade in arms for a free and independent Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. Fellow Ambazonians, again, I come forward today for give a good perspective, put a good perspective to an audio message where Comrade Sako Ekome, he put them out a few days ago. And again, I want to make them very clear. His message was not directed to me. Of course, he mentioned some titles inside as coup plotters and other titles that you've always heard coming from him and his surrogates. But in the Comrade Sako Ekome's audio message, I guess he was addressing certain members of his cabinet, whom I guess are at loggerheads with him over the control of access of certain websites and whatever material that it may be in their keeping. So I guess Comrade Sako was addressing those comrades who are fighting with him or he is fighting with in his circles. Now, Comrade Ekome used one statement in his message, and I am going to focus on that statement. And that statement, Comrade Sako Etok say, every revolution, every revolution must be a kind of dictatorship. Every revolution must be now a kind of dictatorship. It was predicated upon this point where Comrade Sako Ede talk say all keys, all passwords, all websites, everything where it concern his government, ye suppose forget the master key. Now, these are his words, not my words. Ye suppose forget the master key to every forum, to every website, to every financial platform, to every bank account, to everything. Everything. Why? Because according to him, a revolution like this supposed to be some form of dictatorship. Now I come out to completely disagree with that statement, and I come out to disagree with that statement not just to oppose him. I come out to disagree with that statement to educate Ambazonians for understand, say, that kind of a statement now for continue for the build the kind of disarray which don't bring this liberation struggle to where it is today. Let me go take one back a little bit. We started this revolution, this liberation struggle or liberation war making Sisiko Ayoktabe the president of the interim government of Ambazonia. Everybody, if be open arms wide, accepted his leadership. Then the time become where the Nigerian government, in collaboration with La République du Cameroon government, they picked them up in Nigeria, locked them up, moved them overnight to La République du Cameroon. Now, when they will be moved from Nigeria to La République du Cameroon, everybody it be expects say for person where it get common sense, it will understand say enough fit remain the leader or paddle the affairs of the liberation struggle from behind bars. It was but natural. Thing where even small picking where never complete class 7 or class 6, it will understand. Say when you be for behind bars, you not fit lead a revolution or a liberation struggle. And make nobody not say, oh, how about Nelson Mandela? Nelson Mandela was being consulted. He was not leading from behind bars. People should stop making these statements and these errors. Nelson Mandela was being consulted from behind bars. He remained very relevant until he was released. He became the president of South Africa. While he was in jail, there were leaders outside who led the struggle, who raised funds, who traveled for diplomacy, and so on and so forth. Mandela knew that he was limited with what he could do from within the confines of his prison. And so that is what everybody be expect of Siseko. And I think even Tassan Wilfred and others who are there expected that to happen. That once they were limited to what they can do because of their confinement, they were going to say, we have our brothers out there. Let's leave everything in their hands as they continue to consult with us and we paddle the ship of the liberation struggle. That did not happen. Siseko cling on, as I speak to you today, on to power. Siseko, in his mind, is still the president, the leader of the interim government of Ambazonia. We all know that. But that is not what I want to talk about. I want to connect that one to other things. Now, Siseko is in jail, is the president of the interim government of Ambazonia. Those who are free, they pick up Sako, and by consensus, elected him president of Ambazonia to lead the struggle in the absence of Siseko and the cabinet and the team that is in jail. Sako is given a term of 2 years. 2 years, re-electable, ladies and gentlemen, re-electable. He goes through the first 2 years, took an oath of office, promised in that oath of office that 2 years after he will hand over. 2 years came, there was nobody challenging him to take over from him or to get him out of power. In fact, when there was nobody to challenge him, cabinet by law, by standing laws per the Restoration Council, nominated him to stay as president. He went in for another 2 years, making a total of 4 years. The 4 years were over. They said, Mr. President, time is up for you to stand elections again. Sako refused to stand election, and this time he forgot that he had sworn 2 years earlier that he will hand over power after 2 years or stand elections again. Now 4 years have come by, and they said, Mr. President, it is time for elections. Instead of just quietly going into stand election, ladies and gentlemen, he had no challenger. He had Sako after the fourth year had no challenger. If he had just agreed to stand that election, he would have no opponent. Nobody was there to challenge him. He just needed to restand for the third term. He chose not to do so. Instead, his argument was that, well, there is no election in the Constitution. There is no election in the Constitution, and as a result of that, not accepting to stand elections, the Restoration Council impeached him. That is how he was booted out. But this is the point that I want you, the listener, to understand. The Restoration Council impeached him. He walks aside, created his own government, just like Siseko. Sako doesn't want to move. In fact, the two have been removed through impeachments. None of them wants to move an inch. So Siseko is still the president of the interim government after impeachment. Sako is still the president of the interim government after impeachment. Now, after Sako, Marianta comes in. Marianta comes in for 6 months. Was this 4 or 6 months? One of those. The 6 months are over. And they said, Marianta, you stand election per the laws, the bylaws that put you into place. And Marianta, after qualifying the election rules, 95% over 100, now said, no, those laws, those regulations are biased, and says she will not stand for the election after she had filed in to stand for it, using the same rules and regulations. And so, to cut the long story short, as I speak to you now, Marianta is still president of the interim government of Ambazonia. So, you have Siseko is still the president. You have Sako is still the president. You have Marianta is still the president. I don't want to talk about Chris, I know, whom you are hearing right now, because his term is supposed to end, I think, around September. When that time comes and he refuses to go, he will form part of this narrative. But until then, let me take on this aspect of the story. So, fellow Ambazonians, when I hear Comrade Sako telling members of his team, members of his leadership, that he is supposed to have access the main key to all the bank accounts, the main key to all the websites, the main key to all the forums, all the fora, and that a revolution like this is supposed to be a mini dictatorship. Ladies and gentlemen, I say yes and no, but the no overrides the yes. Let me explain something to you. We do not, there is no leader in this movement who has a police force. There is no leader in this movement who has courts. There is no leader in this movement who has lawyers or what any instrument that can be used to enforce certain laws. There is none, absolutely none. And so, you cannot say there's gonna be a revolution has to be a dictatorship because you don't have any means. When in a dictatorship, The dictator uses the police, uses the court, uses the judges, uses the gendarme, like in the case of La République du Cameroon, to enforce his dictatorship. In a revolution or liberation movement like our own, you don't have the police, you don't have the judges, you don't have the courts. So therefore, in a liberation struggle like our own, what should rule and reign is consensus. Consensus. That is the word, not a semi-dictatorship as Comrade Sako want everybody to believe. No, the word is consensus, not dictatorship. Anybody, ladies and gentlemen, anybody, any leader talking about a dictatorship for a country we are still fighting for should ring a bell in your ears. If without a police force, if without the courts, without judges, somebody is already telling you this is supposed to be a mini dictatorship. Tell me, you make that leader the president of the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, when we get to Biya. And that person now controls the police, control the courts, control the judges. Tell me what kind of dictatorship that's going to be. A major dictatorship, isn't it? I hope somebody is seeing what I'm trying to pass across here. Every Ambazonian should reject the very idea, the very thought that a liberation struggle should be a dictatorship. How can it be a dictatorship when you have no mechanism to even enforce? We walk on the good way of people, the good way of Ambazonians. And so any good leader who seeks support from Ambazonians should work with consensus. The idea I see in what Sako is trying to do. The idea of trying to lay his hands on every little key. That means he doesn't trust people. He trusts nobody to handle anything. Everything must be about him and by him. So you can be his cabinet member, but he doesn't trust you. If you have a forum that belongs to your team, Sako must have the master key, the master moderator of that forum, because he is afraid, because he doesn't trust you to make the right decisions, to make the right choices. Now, I heard also in his video or his audio message, he mentioned that it is important that he has possession, that he takes possession of every password and every master key of every website, because coup plotters, as they like to say, can you imagine the chief coup plotter, somebody who refuses to stand elections and then divide Ambazonians? He is the first to call others coup plotters. Now, he says coup plotters went away with Ambazonia Foundation. Coup plotters went away with money. Coup plotters are very proud, because if not for them, probably all the money that we have heard about cryptocurrency, all Ambazonian money would have gone into cryptocurrency if it was left in the hands of people that we are now talking about with Sako. But the idea that he wants to have the key access to every bank account, every forum, every website, tells you he is building a dictatorship. He wants to build. Once you give him access to all those things, tell me the reason why he will listen to any advice. He can no longer listen to anybody. In fact, he will hire and fire you because he doesn't owe you anything. So please, fellow Ambazonians, this is what I'm trying to say. At this stage in our liberation struggle, we should not allow anybody calling himself a leader to want us to believe you lead a liberation struggle, you rule as a small dictator. If at this moment we cannot learn and practice how to lead with consensus, then I'm telling you, we are grooming dictators that will go back to Boya and destroy what has been bought and paid for with the blood of boys who are sleeping in the bushes and giving their lives to free that territory. I hope somebody understands what I have explained here. If somebody calls himself a leader and want to be the all and all, that person should not be trusted with anything. And that includes myself. That person should not be trusted with anything. Why are leaders? I mean, why do leaders surround themselves with people to assist who can assist them? Because they trust them. But if you say you trust a leader and you don't trust him enough to handle certain keys, you must handle all the keys, all of the keys, then you are truly a dictator in the making, and I hope people see it for what exactly it is and interpret it exactly the way that I am interpreting here. This is all that I wanted to say, and I wanted to add that this is why we have dozens of leaders in this our liberation struggle today. People come on, they are trusted, they are given powers of responsibility. They don't want to leave it. To the extent we have how many leaders, so-called presidents today in one government? In one government. How many leaders? All right. God bless Ambazonia.
Wow. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to ID Mind Media, Radio and Television. This is your host, Comrade Fritz. I want to thank you for listening. You have listened to all the activists, to Comrade Chris Arno. You are listening to Uncle B. All these are different opinions, okay? So, but the number one information I want you guys to understand is that the leaders sat together with the interim government and pass the issue of the lockdown for the 6th of November, which is the program for Paul Biya's ascension to power. Okay, that one is very, very important. As you can see, that is a flyer that the celebration of Paul Biya's ascension to power is forbidden anywhere in Ambazonia. Okay, so anyone taking part in the public sacrilege within the territory of Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, does so at his or her own risk. You have been warned. This is coming from all the leaders, the interim government, yeah, and you just heard Comrade Chris Arno also emphasize on that, because we can't be celebrating failure. We can't be celebrating dictatorship. We can't be celebrating colonization. Okay, you can't celebrate something that it puts you under bondage. Someone that has declared war on you. Someone that does not want a better you. You celebrate the person. Okay, gone are those days that we celebrate 20th May, 11 February, celebrate even then all those years we even forgot to celebrate our Independence Day, you know, because they don't want you to know your Independence Day. They say, oh, the independence of La Republique is not important. Okay, so they don't celebrate it. They celebrate the 20th May, they celebrate 11 February, they celebrate all those days. The 1st of January 1960, La Republique become independent without Southern Cameroon. So if they don't want to celebrate their Independence Day, think of it. It means that they want to steal the territory of Southern Cameroon. And they have that as the main machination. That's why you have never heard the citizens of La Republique come out and protest about this, because every citizen of La Republique want to see Ambazonia being annexed. So they will never come out and protest. They will never come out and say, hey, Mr. President, enough is enough. And you see that even in their own leadership. They are those kind of people who prefer to stay like that, even though they have been colonized or they have been exploited by this regime for 42 years. They will sit there, watch him, and if they give them 1,000 CFA, they will go and march. You see, that's how they have made their own life. But we, the people of Ambazonia, have said enough is enough of that. Okay, that is why our people are saying that we will not celebrate anything that has to do with Paul Biya, anything that has to do with CPGM, anything that has to do with La Republique. We will not celebrate it. That's why even the school reopening, you saw the people of Southern Cameroon say no. The leaders said no. They have their own school reopening date. They don't want to open their school the same day that La Republique is opening their school there, because we don't have the same agenda. We don't have the same school year. Okay, we have our own Anglo-Saxon system of education and everything. Okay, now other activists spoke a lot about the how some black legs are trying to do those things. You know, I just want to say that for the past years, we have seen all these activities of black legs. You have seen how these people, they go about trying to, you know, it's just like you have a family member in your house and the family member go and plot with armed robbers. Okay, and when he knows when the armed robbers are coming, he knows when the armed robbers are coming to attack your house, he's there with you sleeping, and when the armed robbers come, he pretends not to know that they are coming. That is how black legs are. They are those people that sleep with you, dine with you, eat with you, they drink with you. Then they take information, go and give to the enemy to come and attack you in the house. So those are the people that history have shown, for all the revolutions, all the wars that have gone on around the world, those kind of people called black leg were exterminated. Most of them were not even allowed to come back to their country anymore. Okay, we saw that even in Ethiopia, Eritrea, for example, where those people who were black legs in Eritrea, for example, during their fight for independence with Ethiopia, they were not allowed to come back to Eritrea. They were begging, after the war ended, they were begging to come back to Eritrea. It did not work because the people of Eritrea say, no, you people during the wartime, you people were the one working with the enemy. So now we have succeeded, we have gained our independence. Just stay where you are. Don't come back to this country. That is what happened. So most of those black legs remain in Ethiopia till today. Eritrea is an independent country. Ethiopia was also an independent country. But the black legs were not allowed to come back to Eritrea. So that is just a message to some of these black legs who think that what they are doing today does not have after effect tomorrow. Whatever you're doing today, know that any crime, anything you do, good or bad, does not go off the history books. That's why we have history. That's even the Bible. The Bible is a history book, because they will recount everything that you do. There are people who are watching the struggle. They're only keeping archives. They're only keeping stuff. You sit one day like that. There are people who they still know that they were blacklegs, that their parents were blacklegs. They still know them. So it goes like to the family. When everybody just hear a name, they say, "Oh, is that one that the father was this? Is that one that the mother was this?" Some people don't know that. They think that what they are doing now does not have effect on their own family and their children's children. It goes from generation to generation. This is a generational fight. This fight today is not about today. This fight has started since the day that they cheated us for our independence. Every country in Africa got their independence not by joining. So Ambazonia, Southern Cameroon, was the only country that got her own independence by joining another country. Okay, and now they came and they gave us two choices: join Nigeria, or join La République du Cameroon. If you are given two choices, fry pan and fire, which one are you going to choose? Our parents spent 40 years with Nigeria. We're being governed by the British with Nigeria for 40 years. So our parents said, hey, the experience that they had with Nigeria, they don't want to go back to Nigeria. They said, let them try La République. That is fire. That is, Nigeria was a fry pan. The La République now is fire. Because when our people even decided to quit Nigeria back then in 1954, our parents left Nigeria. They left Nigeria. They said, enough of this. Okay? And the Nigerian government never fought them. Never said, hey, you have been together for 40 years. You must stay with us. Okay? No. They left and formed their own government. That's when you had Ndeli had the first government. Okay? But that is history, right? So today we are talking about our own struggle now. What is going on? Our parents had a very successful democratic system. Today we see our own people, they don't know that their parents had a democratic system. Imagine after elections in Ambazonia, Southern Cameroon back then, even Kwame Nkrumah visited Southern Cameroon to congratulate Ndeli, to congratulate Foncha for winning the election without any problem. So think of it. If back then our parents had a genuine democracy, but we have been clouded with the fraud, with the undemocratic principles of La République. We are trying to come out from La République, not just saying we want independence or we want this, but to all the bad practices. You have to leave them. You cannot leave. For example, you are part of a gang, or you are part of a group that are going to do criminal things. Then you leave them, but you still hang out with them. So it's the same thing. If we have decided to leave La République, it means that we have decided to not practice anything that they practice. The corruption, the rigging of elections, the unconstitutional way of leadership, the dictatorship, all those things are things that we see threats in some of our leaders today. People who lose election, they don't want to leave power. People who are impeached, they don't want to leave power. People who are not elected, they still remain president. People who say, hey, I will stay there till I die. Which country today, apart from La République, that the president has been for 42 years? Which of the countries? Even we are surrounded with Nigeria, where they have transition of elections, change of presidents. Ghana, all these countries are English countries. Because the Anglo-Saxon system is not like that. People ask for their freedom. People demand for free speech. People ask for liberty. But the majority of the francophone system, if it is not military takeover like in Mali, like in Burkina Faso, like in Niger, like in Gabon. All these are French-speaking countries where the military said enough is enough. All these politicians are playing all these gimmicks. What did they do? The military took over. And because of that system, don't forget, that is what is going to happen in La République du Cameroon. The military is going to take over, and they're going to remain a military rule, because the politicians are so dirty, they are so corrupt. There's no free and fair elections in La République. Now, back in Ambazonia, our people need some kind of consensus. I think President Chris made mention of that, because we cannot have a government and our people, they want to live La République style of governance. We don't want to practice constitutional democracy. We don't want to practice presidential democracy. What kind of country do you want? Or what kind of practice do you want? Do you want us, when we go to Boya, they will start getting confused what democracy is? Then groups start fighting each other. This one start fighting each other. That's not how it happens, right? Other countries, there is respect for the majority. If you are a minority, you either go into partnership with other majority party, let me call it like that, party, or right? Now we have the interim government with the majority of everything, right? The other groups want them to be recognized in the same way as they recognize it. No, they have their groups, fine and good, but in decision making, in those kind of things, there is need for a consensus. It means that all groups come together, the leaders come together and sit and discuss, right? Sometimes they can even vote on policies. They can vote on those things, because we know that each group has their own contribution. Okay, if you are doing anything in this struggle, be you individually, being as a group, you are recognized. Okay, but don't let your recognition or your group make you be biased to other groups. Okay, we had what we call elections because we want to make it democratic. If you appoint like Biya is doing today, are you happy with that? Imagine how many senators are appointed. For example, Senator Mbelamoke is appointed. Your governor in your own state is appointed. Okala Bilai or Lele Lafrique. So how can you get accountability? You see, but election is the best way to give the people the right to vote and the right to choose. That is what is very important. And we hope that our people are going to continue with that spirit, because we are trying to build something that in the future is going to help us develop a very constitutional democracy in the future for our own people. Because no one would like to be in a country where there is no democracy. Who wants dictatorship? Think of it. Which country do you think that succeed with dictatorship? Do you think dictators ever succeed in their leadership? No. They either end up being killed, they either end up being toppled through the coup d'etats and so on and so forth. We don't want that in Ambazonia. That is why we are in America. We see what Americans do. They have 2 or 3 parties. Those 3 parties go to elections. The best party wins. Okay? And they have 4 years to tell the whole American that, hey, we can lead. We can do this. We can do this. Okay, they say, okay, we'll give you 4 years. 4 years come, they'll ask you accountability. What did you do? You said you were going to do this. You said you're going to do this on healthcare. You said you're going to do this on economy. You're going to do this on foreign policy. What did you do? That is what the Americans are asking. But in Cameroon, imagine 7 years. Then there's no accountability. They just say, oh, we're going to vote him again. The people are suffering. There is hunger, there is poverty, there is unemployment, poor infrastructures. There is nothing to show for. Then you say, let's go and celebrate Paul Biya's ascension of power. That is what the leader said. No, don't celebrate failure. You celebrate success. Okay? If Biya was in power and has developed Southern Cameroon and has done many things for Southern Cameroon, we will go out and celebrate him. Yes. Where are our airports? Where are our bridges? Where are our roads? Where are all those things that we brought in? Where is the marketing board? Okay. Where are these all these our society companies that we had, PWD, marketing board, all these companies were there. Cameroon Bank, you had a lot of other these our infrastructures, our dam. We had a dam that produces light, the whole of Ambazonia. Ambazonia Southern Cameroon had nothing to do with the blackouts or light shortages. We had nothing like that. We have the mountain, the highest mountain in the whole of West Africa, Mount Cameroon, that has water, natural water, that can supply good fresh water in the whole of Ambazonia. But because of these companies, these French companies like Supermont, these water companies, they are the one tapping that water and selling to the people of Ambazonia. When it's a natural water, they don't put anything there. It's coming direct from the mountain. They come and build their company there and they're tapping that water. And instead of giving our people free water, before, during the days, we had free water, free pipe-borne water on all the streets in Amazonia. All. But today, people cannot drink clean water. People cannot drink clean water. Whereas we have the sea, we have mountain, we have all the things that you can think of. Okay? But that is about I just wanted to summarize what most of the other people just made mention. So that, okay, but let's work on that and help to avoid repeating another La Republic regime in Ambazonia. That's what we are trying to prevent. Where if somebody wins, you'll be the president. I am a constitutional person. I'm a democratic person. I followed all the presidents as they win elections or as the majority vote them in. I followed all the presidents. I was with Seseko. When he came to America, we voted. We gave him all the respect as a president. I was with Sako. We were behind, trying to make sure that, I was with Iya Marianta. Everything. And when the election came, they did not go into. I followed Cristiano because I know that we want something constitutional. And that is what everybody must try for. We must not try for law. You cannot love somebody. Okay, like now we have elections, presidential elections in America. There are Republicans who change camps, say they will not support the policy of Trump because they don't like the policy. All right? They are supporting the Democratic candidate. That's democracy. I must not support your leader. I must not be in your group for you to like me. Okay? It's about my own way of looking at things. So if you hate me, doesn't solve democracy. Hating is not about democracy. It's about ideas, policies, what you want that is best for the country. Okay? What this candidate is bringing forth and who you think that can better lead your country. That is democracy. I will not support a leader who I know has failed in the past or was impeached and removed. You are still behind him. What kind of democracy are you trying to practice? What kind of democracy? And that's what we are talking about, dictatorship. We have had enough of Paul Biya. We don't want another Paul Biya to follow us in Ambazonia. That is what I will not support. I will not support anybody to have that tendency of. We were talking to Dr. Troyaba. We say you have been in this struggle for 30 years. The same like Dr. Akwanga. You have been in this struggle for 30 years. Don't bring that mindset of without you nothing can happen. That is old mentality. The people power is the strongest power. Many leaders have been frustrated, have failed because they had that tendency of me, myself, and I. I am going to do this. Me, give me this. I'm going to do it. I. The whole place is I. Then how? You are leading the people. Work with the people. Trust the people. The people will trust you. Give the people chance to help you win, or to help you win your legacy. Okay, that is what we're talking about. And there goes now other people talking about unity. The other speakers talk about the work of the diaspora, and so on and so forth and so forth. The people of the diaspora has a role to play in this struggle, because we all cannot come there and fight. The diaspora has their own role, like we have been doing since the war started, right? They have their own way to support the struggle. The diplomatic side, moral side, the financial side, all this aspect is part of the diaspora support. Some people say, oh, these diaspora are already... The fact that diasporans are divided in opinion is good. We cannot have just one opinion, right? It's not about the division of opinion is good. Okay, that's why we want all leaders to always come together, bring those diverse opinions, come together, put it on the table, and they sifter it. They take the bad one, they take the one that is good for the people of Ambazonia. That's what we want. Okay, that's what we talk about, unity, and we talk about consensus. Okay, thank you for listening. God bless you. God bless everybody for Ambazonia. Thank you for listening to the people's voice. Okay, we always give voice for the people to talk. Okay, thank you.